Hi and welcome back. I'm your host, Chin Thomas Angsey for Newswire L.A. Let's get back to our story and I'll see you back here shortly. And this particular election, and correct me if I'm wrong, if nobody gets a majority in the vote, the top two vote getters will go into a runoff, which will be November. Is that correct?
If no one gets 50 plus 1, the top two vote getters will go into November.
And with that said, you guys always have contingency plans. I know you plan to win outright June 5th, but what if you have to go into that November runoff with another person?
I'm going to be working just as hard as I've been working for the past year and a half, raising more money, having the party behind me, trying to get more endorsements. That's what I'm going to do. My goal is to be the next DA of LA County. We've never had a woman, and we've never had an individual of color, and it's about time that those two things, and I embody both of those two things, it's about time that happened in Los Angeles County, which is one of the most diverse counties in the country.
And I can't kind of let this whole thing go without, and I know you've spoken of it on some other shows, John and Ken on KFI and some other people. There's a lot of talk about Carmen Trutanich on the LA City side. People have different views of him and people have different opinions. What is your opinion of Mr. Trutanich and the way he has portrayed his campaign in this election?
Well, I've known Carmen for over 25 years, and I like Carmen Trutanich. We have been friends for that period of time. His campaign has been very interesting. I was surprised that he decided to run because he made the pledge that he would not run. So that bothered me that he decided to run. I think his campaign is reflective of the kind of person that he is. He doesn't want to debate us because he believes that he is the front runner, and most front runners don't want to debate folks that they believe they're going to outright beat in a primary. So that's the only thing that's really been disappointing. I'd like to really challenge Mr. Trutanich on the issues, but other than that, I really don't have a complaint one way or the other about the way he's run his campaign. I know a lot of people have had some issues with him, but I just hope that if I'm one of the people standing with Mr. Trutanich, if he's one of the people standing, that we have an honest and open debate about the issues.
All right. And this is a little bit more fun, but with so many of your colleagues in the office running for the DA, what's it like at the water cooler, or is it a little bit easier since you're kind of like down at the airport and some of the other folks are downtown? What's that like?
Well, we actually all get along pretty much. When we go out and debate each other, we talk, we're very cordial. When someone gets an endorsement, we say congratulations, well deserved. So it hasn't been bad for me at all. And I think that speaks volumes for the type of people that we all are. We're all very experienced prosecutors. We all pretty much like each other. We've worked in the office together for a long period of time. Jackie Lacey and I came into the office together. We were both in planning and training together. And I believe that our friendship has continued and will continue after this election.
One of the more interesting things, and it just occurred to me, is that there's been very little mudslinging in this particular race. And hearing you talk about Mr. Trutanich just a few minutes ago, and hearing you talk about your colleagues right now is really interesting. Tell me, is it something you guys have consciously decided not to do, or is it just a very respectful race all of you are running?
Well, I think that we're all so qualified that there's not really much dirt out there to sling at one another. And for me, I want the voters to look at me and look at my record and vote for me based upon my record, my integrity and my honesty. I don't want and I don't have much to say about something negative about one of the other candidates. I'm the candidate that should win. I'm the candidate that's most experienced, and that's the message I want to tell voters. Anything dirty or nasty, they'll have to get it from someone else. They won't get it from me.
Well, it's like we're almost at the end of our interview. I'm going to give you an opportunity. There's a camera right over there. Tell that camera, which is the audience of Los Angeles and Los Angeles County, anything you want them to know.
I would like you to know that I am the best qualified and most experienced person in this race. I am honest. I have great integrity. I have the vote and the confidence of my peers. I've been endorsed by the Association of Deputy District Attorneys. which is the association that represents all of the attorneys in our office. And when your peers say to you, you are the person out of everyone else that we want in the office, that speaks volumes for my integrity. It speaks volumes for the people in Los Angeles County, as well as my peers in the office and outside of the office, what they want in the next district attorney, and that would be me. So on June the 5th, I'm truly hoping that the people in Los Angeles County, I'm a lifelong resident, that you will vote for me, Danette Meyers, for DA of L.A. County. Thank you.
Danette Meyers, thank you for joining us on Newswire L.A. Good luck on June 5th. And hopefully, whatever happens, we can talk to you again after the election and find out what your thoughts are after going through this process. Hopefully as district attorney.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
All right, we're going to look to see you then. And that's it for our interview with Danette Meyers, candidate for district attorney. Everyone here at Newswire L.A. is very appreciative. She took the time out of her campaign to sit down and talk with us. Remember, the elections are about 2 weeks out, so no matter what you do and no matter who you vote for, just make sure you get out and cast a vote. It's a liberty that people have fought and have died for. And that's it for this Newswire L.A. broadcast. We thank you for joining us. Remember, if you want to keep up with everything Newswire L.A., follow us on Facebook and Twitter at Newswire L.A. I'm your host, Chin Thomas Angsey, and I'm saying so long, and we'll see you back here next time. And now, a Newswire L.A. editorial. The Los Angeles Police Department is considering changes in its 30-day hold policy that would allow unlicensed drivers pulled over during traffic stops to keep their cars, providing they can find another licensed driver to take custody of those vehicles. Newswire L.A. opposes any change, citing a threat to public safety. In fact, of the 40,000 crashes in the U.S. last year, 20% involved a driver without a valid license. Additionally, studies show that unlicensed drivers are 5 times more likely to be involved in accidents. Some cite the financial burden that the impound of an automobile can cause to those apprehended. We contend that the injuries and deaths caused by some of these individuals far outweigh any inconvenience an impound might incur. Driving in California and many other places is a privilege. The majority of drivers register their cars every year, pay for insurance, and abide by the law. That's because we know there will be sanctions for anything less. Unlicensed drivers, all unlicensed drivers, must be sanctioned for their failure to follow the law. We agree with the Los Angeles Police Protective Union, Councilman Mitch Englander, and others that this proposed change in policy is misguided and flat out wrong. We also agree that the state legislature's similar recent change in the law regarding unlicensed sober drivers at sobriety checkpoints is also flat out wrong as well. In recent days, the LAPD has stepped back from its original position and is now endorsing a change that would leave this one-call option open only to first-time offenders. All others with convictions and/or DMV violations would be impounded. The LAPD's change in position appears to be in some part the result of strong public opposition. Newswire L.A. recommends that the public continues to apply pressure until this change is abandoned in its entirety. Again, it's an issue of public safety, and that issue should trump all others, especially issues of a political nature. I'm Chin Thomasangsi, and Newswire L.A. appreciates your comments. You can post written comments or a rebuttal video on our Newswire L.A. Facebook page. The best of those could be used in a future broadcast or rebuttal segment. You can also send us comments via our email system. Use this address, newswirela@gmail.com. Comments and videos must adhere to general broadcast standards for content and language. Newswire L.A. reserves the right to remove content that does not adhere to these standards. Thank you for joining us, and this concludes our broadcast day.